What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, I wanna speak about an article that I ran across recently. And this was Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum had to move back home, and I thought it was a an interesting little article. I thought that like once Jayson Tatum hurt his Achilles, I guess he realized that there was some things that he probably couldn't do at home by himself. So, and I ran across this article. Now, last year, before the season even started last year, I was picking the Boston Celtics to repeat. And the fact that once Jayson Tatum got hurt, I realized, I was like, well, that's down the drain. They definitely not going up. Let me see what size it will work here. Uh, yeah, I guess this is better. Yeah, once Jayson Tatum got hurt, that really put that really sealed the deal for the Celtics, and I knew they wasn't going to be able to repeat. But I was picking the Celtics to repeat. So, but let me read this article right here though. So it says why NBA superstar Jayson Tatum had to move back in with his mother after season ending injury, right? NBA superstar Jayson Tatum's quest for a second consecutive championship was cut short this past season after suffering a devastating ruptured Achilles tendon during the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Olympic gold medalist had been open about mental tolls this season injury has and is now in an interview he's revealing how just drastically his life has changed and undergone since undergoing surgery May 2025, right? And so not only did I think that the Celtics was going to win it last year because of they was going to repeat, but I thought that Jayson Tatum felt like he had some things to prove. Like he was playing like he had a chip on his shoulder. Him and his teammate Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was all right. So they come off of their championship run. Jaylen Brown didn't even get an invitation to the Olympics. So that right there really probably that put a chip on Jaylen Brown's shoulders. Then Jayson Tatum goes to the Olympics, but he don't get any time. So, and which I thought was crazy because here you are, like the world champion Boston Celtics, and you don't really see any time. You don't, you're not able to get on the floor. So, and a lot of people couldn't figure out why Jayson Tatum wasn't on the floor, and I'm one of them. Uh, I don't think he would have been a liability or anything. I think he would have been, by him being so versatile as he is, he'd have been able to, to have a larger impact than some of the older guys who was on there. Who I think they should be kind of like the older players should be kind of like tapering off, and then you're introducing the new guys, But that's a whole nother video. And so the article goes on to say Jayson Tatum reveals how Achilles surgery severely impacted his everyday life. Let me see. This is something that really affected my life. Tatum told Us Weekly. Obviously, I got injured and wasn't able to play, but my day-to-day life really dramatically changed. I had to move back in with my mom and back into my mom's house because I wasn't able to go up and down the steps. I had to stay on the first floor. Now, also, I thought Jayson Tatum was with this young lady. She's a singer. What's her name? The young lady who sings, Ella May or something. I don't know. I might be pronouncing her name wrong. But I thought because I know they have a kid together. Jayson Tatum got two sons, and I know one of his last son is by the young lady who's a singer, and her name I think is Ella May, right? Let me see it. This right here is a picture of Jayson Tatum and his mother, and you know how moms are. She probably is she probably tickle pink just to have him back in the house, back around her every day. It probably is no she probably more than happy to have him back there. How did Jason Tatum enjoy living with his mom again? Let me see. Let me see. Tatum explained after his surgery, it would take him close to 50 minutes to shower and get dressed. He also had to adjust to life with a walker and shower seat during saying I had to make sure I didn't slip and fall in the shower. I had to be very careful. Thing, Let me see, things like that just really altered my life. That was really tough to deal with. Now I know I had a broken leg probably like a couple years ago, and yeah, you want to be really careful because you don't want to fall and tear anything, that like, yeah. So I know I was kind of like, and it takes a while. Like once you have a serious leg injury or something like that, it takes a while to build up that confidence too, to be able to, to put weight on it when the doctors say you can't put weight on it, and to try to walk on it. I mean, you just kind of really just you definitely going to favor that leg. And so what I hope that Jason Tatum don't do is favor that leg to the point where he'll like his other leg will overcompensate, because that's what happens sometimes. A lot of times when you break or you have an injury to one leg, you'll put more pressure on the other leg, and then you'll get up, you'll the other leg will break. So he has to really be careful that he don't tear the Achilles in like the other leg. I don't know if it was his right leg or his left leg, but he want to make sure that like he's coming along at a reasonable pace, whereas though it's not too much pressure. And he won't re-injure that leg. I know the same. I think Kevin Durant. I think he tried to come back too soon. He had a leg injury. And what happened with Kevin Durant? He came back and he hurt it. He hurt the other leg. So you got to be careful about that part of it. Let me see with the Jason Tatum, and I wasn't. Let me see. Let me see. 5 star. Okay, let me go right here. It was like uh it was like high school, he said. Let me see. Who better to help you through than the person who raised you? I couldn't be more thankful to be in a position where my mom lived really close and I was able to stay with her. Oh, that's cool. They live. See, and that's what I said. Him and his mother probably really close. She been his biggest fan since from day one. Tatum also joked that his mother was too pleased with his recovery process, wasn't too pleased with his recovery process, started either. Let me see. She'd probably say I was hard headed because I was still trying to do a lot of things on my own. I didn't want much help. But she was always there, he said. Yeah. Like I said, I'm sure she was more than pleased with it's not like, like I mean that's her, she was his number one fan from day one. And so, she probably put everything to the side and made him the number one priority. Now she has him over there all the time because she's taking care of him, and she probably get to see her grandsons, more often because they coming to see their father if they don't already live with him. Like I said, I don't know what the situation is with that, but she probably get to see her and see, okay. And so it goes on to say, Tatum enjoyed his downtime with his family, right? And see, that could be a blessing, and that's a blessing in disguise. So here we have a picture of Jason Tatum with his two sons. Let me see what his sons' names are. Aside from reminiscing on his high school days while staying with his mother, Tatum also revealed that this relationship with his sons, Deuce and Dylan, let me see, Deuce is 7, Dylan is 14 months, was strengthened as a result of his injury. He explained that during the NBA offseason, he normally be busy with traveling and other work commitments. Yeah, and so what happens is when these players are off, like people want him to do commercials, appearances, and uh, obligations as far as like sponsorship deals and stuff is concerned. So obviously he couldn't do that because of his his Achilles. So he get to hang with Deuce and Dylan, and then his mother probably get to see them a lot more. So she probably don't have any complaints about that. And yeah, man. But I'm hoping that when Jayson Tatum come back this season, he can pick up where he left off at. I think Jayson Tatum still probably feel like he got some things to prove. So, and that I hope don't, that don't make him rush back though. I'm hoping he don't rush back, too soon. Just come back when he's ready. But that's my take. I thought that was a pretty cool article. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.